Hey everyone, it's Chris here with a tarot oracle forecast for this upcoming week, which is all about going through a pretty major power portal. So, in my previous post, I had talked about what's happening. Spring and autumn equinox, depending on which hemisphere you're in, tomorrow, Monday. Then the next day we have the new moon in Aries, and yeah, and the sun in Aries, new moon in Aries. Um, the 23rd, we have Pluto stationing into Aquarius, and on the 25th, we have Mars entering the sign of Cancer after being in Gemini for 7 months. So, if you're here, leave me a comment, and we'd love to hear who's here. Say hello. Or, of course, if you're watching the replay, hashtag replay. If you have questions as I'm going along, feel free. But what we are going to do is a collective reading. So we're going to start with I'm going to use these beautiful Art Nouveau tarot. And we are going to look at the energy, the overall energy for the week in a few life areas. And the first one will be money. And then we will have relationships. And work. Okay, money, relationships, work, and will be a good one to pull here. Let's see. Okay, how about health? Our radiance, our body, our physical world. Okay, well, that one just jumped out. And I'm drinking my beautiful Yemayati. Look at how blue this is. This is a really deep one. I let it steep for a while. So you can order this off my website, probably starting tomorrow. I have to get everything on. So I was hoping to get on earlier to do this, but I've been kind of integrating all day, and yeah, had a really beautiful weekend. There's a lot going on, and I had did a little mushroom uh, journey, so that kind of was super mellow, but very, you go very deep. And I knew it was a power portal, so I wanted to just fully be in my body, be present, and also really connected to the cosmos and to the earth. There's something about mushrooms because it just feels so connective, and I feel like so much more connected to my spiritual life in a different way, right? In a way where you're seeing the spiritual and the physical merge, right? That's part of why we um, go into hallucinogenics. Hey mama, good to see you, Gina. Okay, so the cash card is the Page of Swords. So this week I feel like there's new information. Sometimes with the Page of Swords, it could be a little bit challenging information about money. So maybe this is about, you know, being rational, being neutral, not being super emotional about your money, being conscious of your money, but not, you know, not being, I'm hearing overprotective. Interesting word, overprotective. So, it's about a flow, it's about allowing, And at the same time, having that balance of the intellect and the rational mind. And, and pages often have to do with news. So there could be news that knocks you off kilter this week about money. Um, and yeah, again, I don't feel like this is necessarily a totally negative card, but I definitely feel like there could be a challenging situation or something in your own mind that feels like a challenge around money. Okay. And relationships, we have the Nine of Swords. So this is really about worries and anxieties about relationships. Um, sleepless nights and worrying. So there are definitely, with actually there's three swords cards here on the table right now. We're going to be up in our heads a lot. So, I'm not saying, go do mushrooms or drink alcohol or, whatever it is that we do to uh, relax. Um, but, you know, do whatever it takes to keep your mind protected. Maybe not overprotected, but protected in the sense of not getting too caught up in the negative mind loops. I know I can get that way. Um, something that I've regretted or a scenario, and then it keeps replaying over and over in your mind. I feel like that's what this is about. And for work, we have a really beautiful card, the Nine of Pentacles. So interesting. We had a nine, and now here's another nine. But this nine is all about allowing yourself to be in gratitude and to appreciate and to enjoy all the beautiful things in your life. And this is definitely a card of abundance. So in your work life, in your livelihood, you feel very grounded and abundant. So, if you're feeling this way in one area, you can spread it to other areas of your life. So just take that energy in. Nine is also the number of gestation. It's the number of coming close to completions and getting towards this time of um, rebirth, right? Okay, and then we have the Ace of Swords. So this is for the physical world, the physical body, all of those things and radiance. And this is about news coming in, and this is about good news. This is about a new idea, a new start, a beginning. So feels like in the physical realm, we are feeling a fresh new energy, and that is an energy of triumph. It's an energy of, honesty and truth. And truth will prevail when we get this card. So I feel like, if you're having any sorts of doubts or having a hard time in relationships, hey, Sister Christina, just know that your career life, your livelihood, and your physical world, the finances are going to be pretty damn good. And it's always all in attitude, right? Okay, so this is just the overall for this coming week, this power portal. And we're going to pull from the Wisdom of the Hidden Realms guidebook here. And we're asking for some messages for this week as we go through this power portal. Okay, the first card we got is the Hawk Prince. Spirit communication, paying attention. It's the number 11. So, when we go through any sort of power portals, this is about obviously a rebirth on the other side, but the power portal is, and I talked a little bit about this in my newsletter, but it's about this frequency that we are about to enter. So you can imagine that, like, the energies right now, especially starting tomorrow, but we're already feeling those energies of things moving really fast, things kind of pulling us through this portal to get to the other side, to get to this new world, this new life. And the Hawk Prince is saying to pay attention to the signs, pay attention to the synchronicities. Um, Spirit is talking to you. And to get through this power portal, you need to be really connected to Spirit, following your guidance, following your intuition, which is going to be really powerful and, really on point. Hey, Jennifer, nice to see you. So, the Hawk Prince, this is a really powerful card. And the next card is amazing too. The Winged Wise Ones, Angelic Help and Miraculous Aid, number 34, which comes out to a 7. This is the card of the angelic realm. This is the card of the wise elders. So on the other side of this power portal, you're going to be met with very powerful forces and entities. So, power portals ask us to move through fear. They ask us to look at any challenging situations and learning to be neutral about it and having trust in the universe, having trust in yourself that you are where you need to be at the right time. And right now, whatever is going on in your life, if there is a situation that is challenging, you're being aided by all of the wise ones, the angelic realm, the ancestral realm. This is a great card to have along with the Hawk Prince as well. So I feel like we're, the other thing I want you to remember is, the angels want you to remember this. They're telling me in any sort of, special guides and ancestors and deities, when they're on the other side, there's so much they can do to help you, but you do have to give them permission. You have to ask for their help because we have free will, right? This is interesting. So the third card about going through this power portal this week is the Word Lord. Communication, praise, and dishonesty. And I think that's interesting because we talked about in the physical realm that this week is all about the truth prevails, truth wins. So this is, radical truth telling. Believing in truth itself, in the power of truth. And, there's certain deities for that. I know in Egypt we had Ma'at, who is the goddess who weighs the hearts when people are at the gate, the portal of the afterlife. And she is like a judge. Were you truthful? Were you fair? Were you a good person? So the portal is, being powerful, being strong, and being truthful, and being trusting, and being in your integrity is super important right now. So if you feel like you have to lie about something or white lies about something, you don't want to do that this week. You want to be fully in your power, in integrity, and being your authentic self. That's how you're going to really move through this portal with ease and not be like kind of sucked into like that karmic rut, that we can get into when, we feel like I need to please people, or, you get just in a pattern that you've been in your whole life. And, it's like this, in 2008, Pluto went into the sign of Capricorn. And it was funny because that was the year Seraphina was born. And when I was reflecting on this today, if you remember at the beginning of 2000, we had the housing and the banking crisis and all of that. So now that Pluto is getting ready to enter Aquarius, it's in the final degrees of Capricorn. So these are very critical degrees there. So that's why we're seeing the bank crisis coming back. the financial crisis coming back. So it's almost like a little bit of a repeat. Like, did you get the lesson? Did you learn? So all of us really must reflect on the year 2008, 2009, 2010, and look at what were the lessons that I was learning at that point, what was going on in my life. And I mean, obviously there was stuff going on in the collective, but think about what was going on in your life. For me, I was becoming a mom, you know, it was a very, it was like a wish come true. And it was very much, in some ways, something I hadn't planned on because I thought, I'm 40, it's not going to happen, it's going to be too late. Um, but it did happen. So, for me, the lessons were all around motherhood and taking care of myself as I was taking care of my child. Um, so yeah, it's interesting to think of those years. And then 2010, a couple of years later, was when I completed my dissertation and defended for my PhD. So what's also kind of fascinating is that I am presenting my dissertation work in May in Syracuse. So I literally, like, I was telling somebody, it's like pulling a, I have to pull out a dinosaur out of the hat, because I barely remember what I wrote. I've got to go back and reread my dissertation, right? And go through it and decide what am I presenting? How am I going to present this? So those are the common themes that are up right now for me that are like a repeat of that time. So definitely think about those things. Take your journal out and really think about it. Hi, Jenny. I know you caught me live. So cool. Um, okay, so those were the overall cards. So I'm going to pull cards now based on the particular day and basically the astrological energy. So let's look at first the astrological energy of tomorrow, which is the equinox. So for us in the northern hemisphere, it's the spring equinox. For our friends in the southern hemisphere, it's the autumn equinox. And so we're like, tomorrow is right before the sun fully enters the sign of Aries, which is the 21st, but we're going to work on tomorrow. So what do we need to know about the spring equinox energies? Okay. So tomorrow is this first portal, right? I'm going to pick one more card. So tomorrow it's like the opening of this power portal. So what we're going to see is renewed passion and hi, Christina. I'm not reading individual cards. I'm reading for the collective. So right now, I'm reading about what are the energies for tomorrow. And it totally can be applied to your business, your personal life. But this is an overall energy. And the overall energy is there's a lot of action tomorrow. There is possibly a need to make some decisions, but feeling like I'm not quite ready yet. So maybe it's not about pushing yourself to make a decision or pushing yourself to like take a stand on anything yet in particular. It's just time to reflect, time to get balanced and know that. And we got again the Ace of Swords again. So the swords is air energy. It's all about rational thinking. And then this particular card, it's a new beginning, a new idea, a new truth that comes to light. And this is going to actually bring us to either new situations where we are making more money in our business or contemplating how to make more money in our business. We have the Queen of Pentacles. So this is a very beautiful earth sign energy about money, business savvy. It's a feminine card too. So this is really sinking into feeling secure and feeling, beautiful and secure with what you have, and knowing that you're fruitful, knowing that you are going to multiply whatever it is that needs to be multiplied, whether it be money, work opportunities, lovers. It's just, you could imagine that there is so much abundance, and that tomorrow we're really going to be getting a lot of ideas, insights, signs about where the abundance really is. We know it's within us, but as far as like this quest, we're going to be going on a quest starting tomorrow, like entering this power portal and going, okay, I've been wanting to manifest all of this. So now I need to do XYZ. You're going to be downloading information. You're going to be shown what you need to do with your work, what you need to do with your finances, what you need to do with your home. This is all like very physical realm stuff, and also about being inspired and being open to your guides dropping in ideas. Christina, it's totally a repeat for you, living in a mansion, except you're in a different country, and this time you're single and narcissist free. Woohoo! And Christina, oh, hello from San Diego. Nice. And yeah, we'll see. I might be able to, because I don't know, probably not that many people are going to come on because it's late. So perhaps I can pull cards, individual cards for you lovely ladies here tonight, and if anybody else comes. Okay. So that was the 20th. So let's do the 21st, which is Tuesday. I've already got cards flipping out. So Tuesday is the new moon in Aries, the sun in Aries. Oh my gosh, great cards for this. Okay. So the theme for so basically March 21st is the new moon, plus it is the beginning of the astrological year. So it's basically like a New Year's Day. So Aries represents the East, and the East is always associated with birth and rebirth, the dawn, So the light is returning, the days are going to start getting longer. As we're headed towards now the like the summer solstice, right? And you're definitely going to be getting news about a profitable project, a profitable opportunity. So, and then we also got the Four of Wands, which this is a beautiful card that represents portals, walking through a portal. So the Four of Wands is all about celebrating. So you're going to be very, very happy because you also got the Nine of Cups. Whatever comes in on Tuesday feels like a celebration, feels like a sacred marriage within a feminine and masculine. It feels like that wish that you've been waiting for, something that you've been wanting, something you've been wanting to manifest. You're going to start to see signs of it. So, and it could be that on this particular day of the portal, you actually hear the news and say yes to something. And I'm going to pull an oracle card too on today and see what it says here. But yeah, I feel like what this is saying is there is a new chapter in living this abundant life, in living a life that where your wishes come and your dreams come true, where there's this balance and this celebration of life and this happiness. You're an Aquarius. Okay, Christina. And you, yeah, it is very encouraging. Okay. So these two cards flipped out for the Oracle. The High Lord of Gratitude and Service, Selflessness, Humility, Conscious Action. I love this guy who's holding this little white flower. So you're going to have reason to feel grateful. And you're going to want to give from that place. I feel like there's a lot of energy of give and receive. And I love how, you know, he's got this halo around his head. He's just so happy. So there's this joy that's coming in on Tuesday. So really receive that joy, right? Receive it fully, fully sink into it, enjoy it. And you know, he's holding that white flower. White flowers to me represent purity. They represent truth again. So truth and purity. You might want to have white flowers around you. Definitely do meditation today. I mean, yeah, today, every day, obviously, but really doing some meditation around gratitude and opening to truth, opening to the signs of the universe. What does the universe want to birth through you as you go through this portal? Okay, and the other card we chose is the Desert Prince, Survival and False Promises. This is a really, actually, it's a really good card. It's an interesting card about like how plants like the cacti can, you know, what you know, what living things can thrive in a desert, right? So maybe things have felt like you've been in a desert. It could be a desert of love, sexuality, food, money, and you're coming out of this sense of lack mentality or scarcity thinking. Instead, you are finding the deepest wells of that water, that life that's under the ground, that's hidden, that you don't necessarily see. Jenny, during the Kali meditation, you kept getting a white rose, and you live in the desert. Yeah. So the desert, you know, flora and fauna, they have, you know, they have to really search and dig within, dig down deep to find those resources. So just like you're going to be doing, you're going to be really sourcing the deepest aspects of your own abundance, right? Because there's a lot of abundance here on the 21st. Okay, so we're going to move to the 23rd. So the 23rd of March, we have Pluto, and I was talking earlier about Pluto and Capricorn. Pluto is going to make its first move in Aquarius, and Pluto is going to be there until June and then retrograde back into Capricorn, I think until the end of the year. So we're going to get a little taste this week of what Pluto in Aquarius is. So, you know, Pluto in any sign is generational, right? Because he's going to be in Aquarius for 20 years, and Pluto is deeply, deeply transformational. Transformation, complete transformation from the inside out. Um, it can be quite a difficult transit, I'll tell you, as a Capricorn, having Pluto in my sign for the past 15 years has been, you know, not only transformative and, you know, brought me really beautiful experiences, but there were a lot of moments of very like big change. You know, the death of my mom, the death of my marriage. You know, Pluto is the underworld. This is the shadow. This can be death and power and sex and rebirth. But Pluto is also the richest god in the pantheon of Greece, right? So Christina, you love it. Yeah, we're coming out of that lack mentality. I mean, that's part of going through this portal. It's like we can't look at things in the same perspective. And with Pluto going into Aquarius, which is your sign, you're going to be extremely, extremely transformed in the next 20 years. And you're going to see major life change. And there might be things that you thought were going to be it for you, but there's something deeper, there's more. It's all about being open to the more, right? And when we're that way, we're not looking at things from, oh my gosh, I'm going to lose this, or this is going to go away, or this part of my life is going to die away. And, then we can get into that clenching kind of fear, but we don't need to do that, right? We can trust that the universe has better plans for us, right? And the alternate plan is what we're surrendering to. So there is a lot of surrender that's going to happen for all of us because Pluto affects, the collective in a huge way. My Instagram, I seem very wise. Thank you, Christina. I think it's chrisoster.phd or chris.oster.phd. I'll have to look it up and I'll put it in the chat for you. Thank you for asking. Sorry for your loss. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it was a big one. That was a big, especially losing my mom. My ex and I are still friends and co-parenting Seraphina, and it's really smooth and everything's great, which is really good. Okay. So now that we talked about Pluto and Aquarius, let's see what the cards have to say. What do we need to know about March 23rd, Pluto and Aquarius? Okay, I'm not surprised. Well, we have kind of an interesting thing going on here. So when we reach this part of the portal, things are really going to start moving fast. And I don't think anybody hasn't noticed how fast, when we got to, I don't know, maybe mid-February or towards the end of February, I realized, oh my God, we're like almost in March. And now we're like almost done with March, right? We've got like 10 more days or something, 11 more days. And this is like almost the end of Q1 2023. Things are moving faster and faster. So that's part of this portal is, it's going to it's kind of like getting, you're in a slingshot and then getting shot through a cannon. It's going to get faster. So this Pluto, it's funny, this Pluto in Aquarius, it's going to feel like you are literally being transported from one reality to another. And what's interesting is the reality it feels like you're crossing over, like something's going to get easier, something's going to get easier and feel very lifted up. Like it's almost like you're being lifted up into this portal, like, and then bam, like just push through. It might feel like a little bit of a shock to the system. So I'm just going to tell you that. So it's important again to stay as grounded as possible. Keep your meditation, if you can go out in nature, dance. I'm hearing dance is going to be huge for you. Moving your body, putting on music that you love and just letting go. Really, because like I said, we have this Pluto is all about surrender, right? Okay, I'm going to pick an oracle for this day. So this is March 23rd. Pluto in Aquarius. Oh, I love this card. This card came flying out. The Sun Dancers. What did I say? Dancing. You can't make this shit up, right? The Sun Dancers, joyful activity, celebration of life and abundance. Look at this. And it's funny because she's dancing on top of this half broken, pillar, like a column. And we have the tower here, it's like we're going to be dancing on top of this, all of that's brought us here, all of the change, right? Because so much change has brought us here, and now we are really being elevated and being shot again, raised, lifted. And if you don't know, I'm starting a goddess circle about the goddess Hathor, and Hathor is the goddess of dance, joy, music, sensuality, and we're starting tomorrow. So the link, if you look on the rest of my Facebook profile, you'll see a link to the Hathor 21-day journey. And Hathor is the patron goddess of dancers and musicians. So really stay connected to dance, to celebration, to your body, to the physical world. I love this. So the changes that are happening, again, you're going to feel like you're in a new reality, but you're celebrating it. We're all going to be celebrating together, which is so beautiful. Hey, Vienna. Yeah, time is going by really fast. That's part of this portal. And Christina, you love dancing, perfect. And you love that celebration of abundance. And Rachel, so good to see you too. Amazing. I've got some amazing women here. Okay, so that was Pluto into Aquarius. So now, yeah, and Rachel, you're almost a birthday girl, right? Couple of days? Hopefully I'm not totally off base, but yeah, you're a beautiful Aries, so this is your season. Okay, so what's next? I wanted to do, yes, March 25th, which is Mars finally leaves Gemini. Mars has been in Gemini for 7 months. And that's been, really kind of crazy. So think of this portal opening tomorrow. And I really believe, as far as how long is it open, I think it's probably open through the 27th. But I feel like the 25th, again, is another like climbing the levels, climbing the ladder of this portal. So let's see what the cards have to say. Oh, you're on the 29th. Okay, woohoo. Celebrate this portal, Rachel. It's a big one. And yeah, if you guys got here late, just the replay, you could watch the replay from the beginning so you could catch up on what you missed. Okay, so we're getting Mars moving out of Gemini, moving into Cancer. So interesting. Cancer is the sign, it's very emotional. It's very nurturing. It's very maternal. And here we have the god of war going in there, right? So interesting energies. Okay. I want to pick some more cards here. And how are you guys all feeling? I know everybody so far here has said that they've been feeling the speed up, that it's since the end of February, it's just been like, whoa, you look up and it's March 19th and you're like, how do we get here, right? And that's part of this being pulled into this power portal, this vortex of energy, that I think we've all been preparing for this for many, many years. And now that the time's here, it's just like, okay, get ready for big change. Okay, Mars going into Cancer, there's definitely going to be some endings. Yeah, I feel like that's pretty much around the 25th, maybe a day or two after the 25th is when the portal is closing. It's like there's an this it's like going to mark this end of an era in our lives. Yeah, there's this sense of truth and justice has come up again, and balancing the masculine and feminine, balancing the forces. Yeah, it's basically we can't stay in our comfort zones anymore. Like whatever is coming is very much an unknown. It's very mysterious. It's like this layer of reality that none of us have lived through before, right? So we have to be patient, right? We have to stay balanced, and some people might really get it and some people may not get it. Some people may not know how to deal with this information because it is on such a deep, subtle level that those of us who are light workers, who do any kind of spiritual work, who do work in psychology, we're probably going to see a lot of people kind of lose their shit. Um, so maintaining that balance, maintaining that equilibrium, especially of the mental body, right? And not um, finding that balance within you, whether it's exercise, meditation, yoga, journaling, do all the things, do all the self care things this upcoming week for sure. Um, but whatever has been hidden, that's that's now a part of the codes that are coming in, and I'm showing this. They're showing me the sun and solar codes coming in through the rays of the sun. Um, let's see. The Yemayati, it's very dark blue right now. It's kind of trying to get the light to shine through it so you can kind of see. So yummy. Um, Rachel, the energy's been so crazy fast and accelerated towards more change. It feels validating to hear someone else say it. Hi, Tina. Pleasure to see you. Okay, so this is for Mars moving into Cancer. So I'm going to pull some oracle cards on this date. So yeah, it looks like there's definitely the portals closing within 48 hours of the 25th. So that's so probably by the 27th, the portal will be kind of more grounded in a new reality, something that might feel, again, very mysterious, very subtle. But like I said, it's enough to throw people off balance if they don't take care of their energy. So yeah, definitely try your best to slow down. Don't try to, I tend to overpack my weeks with work stuff. And if you do the same thing, probably, people may cancel or things might get moved around. So again, don't be attached to schedules, don't be attached to plans this week because it's a very major power portal. Woohoo! The Lady of the Lightning. Now this is the energy I'm talking about here. Surprises, sometimes shock, total paradigm shift. So that's it. By the 25th, 26th, and 27th, we are really seeing what's on the other side of this portal. Right? I feel like we all can sense it. We're getting excited about it. We have been excited about it, and it is very exciting. It is something to celebrate. but it's a total paradigm shift. And so to be prepared as possible for that, because obviously, you can't be prepared for something shocking and surprising, but you can, again, really take care of yourself, take care of your mental health, take care of your physical health. Um, do what you can to take good care of yourself and be grounded. Okay? Big, big shifts are happening. All right, so I guess what I'll do is I'll pull some oracle cards for you guys individually. Though these will just be fast little mini readings, because I actually have to do a little bit of more work stuff. And why am I not seeing the beginning of this? I know Christina and Jennifer, Jenny. I think there was someone here before Christina, I thought. Okay, let's see here. Let me get... Okay, so I have two Christinas. Christina with a C, Christina with a K. Sometimes it doesn't show you all. It's so weird. It doesn't show you all the... I'm pretty sure there was someone else in here first. So, okay. So I'll start with you, Christina, and then I'll go to Jennifer, and then I'll go to Jenny, and then Christina. And she wanted to know about her business. Okay, Christina. Christina Napick. What does she need to know? Oh, you got this beautiful card. The High Lord of Gratitude and Service. Selflessness, humility, and conscious action. Yeah, you're just moving into this space. And look, it's the number 2. So this is about, collaboration, cooperation, and, and collaborating with the spirit realm to just continue being in this pure space of joy, of love, like living from the heart, living from your truth, from your purity of your soul. So that's a beautiful card to have. I love that. Okay, Jennifer. Let's see what card wants to come through for you. The Eagle King. The big picture angelic help. Wow, this is a very powerful card. So, the Eagle King is a powerful ally of protection. So know that you're protected, know that you're being guided by the angels. So definitely ask the angels for help if you need help with something. And, the eagle flies high above the earth, and it sees things from that higher perspective. So that's what you're being asked to do for this portal. See things from the higher perspective. Oh yeah, Gina was here first. Let me do Gina's card. Gina, I don't know if you're still here, but looks like this card wants to come out for you. The Word Lord, communication, praise, and dishonesty. So this card came up. Because you are in integrity, those who are dishonest are going to be called out. This is about being called out for dishonesty, and also called out for being honest, for good communication, for being on the level, right? So this is a great card for you, Gina. This is all about you, tapping into this wise elder. I feel like this actually represents, like kind of like a Moses figure in your life, someone who is protective, someone who is a mentor, someone who wants to see you happy and see you do well. And this could be someone on the other side helping you, but there's definitely a mentor with you now who's giving you the right words to say, and helping you to be brave and trust as you see other people who might not be in their integrity come forward and lie or do stupid crap that but as long as you stay in your integrity, you're protected. Okay, so I'm going to do Jenny, a card for Jenny. So Jenny, what do you need to know about this power portal? I feel like 2 cards want to come out. Okay, so you also got the High Lord of Gratitude and Service, and you also got the Diamond Dreamer, Material Wealth and True Prosperity. All right, Jenny, so I feel like this is about, you've been doing a lot of work around manifesting material wealth and prosperity. And, this card has a genie on it. It's like, your wish is my command. So I feel like, whatever you've been wishing for, you're going to be seeing the signs being led to that is for you what true wealth is and true prosperity. And the path, I feel like, is this amazing figure here who is all about heart and joy, humility, gratitude, just staying in this place of being of service, being in your kindness, all of that, which, comes naturally to you. But I feel like this is a good sign that your prosperity that you've been calling in is really on its way. Okay, Christina Cha. I'm going to pull a card for you about your business. Very nice. You got the Horse King, assistance control. So the Horse King is definitely about a mentor, or if it's, an energy on the other side. It's about a masculine energy in your life, in your business in particular, who wants to support you, who wants to give you a leg up, who wants to help you move up in your business, be successful. And this could also represent you coming into that role, maybe for yourself and for other people. The Horse King is definitely someone who is successful. This is success. This is discipline. This is doing the work that needs to be done to be successful, to continue success, and to grow your business, and to be grounded, your business to be grounded in just very solid systems, whatever those are. Let's see what else. Now, the Horse King could also be a potential business partner that might come in for you too at this portal. So if it's assistance, maybe it's financial assistance, maybe it's resources, maybe it's having, that kind of mentorship or partnership where someone really believes in you and believes in what you're doing. Really pray for that person. Ask for them to come in. Ask for your guidance, your guiding spirits, your angels to help you to meet this person. And if it's not a person, then it's an energy within you as well. Okay? Okay, let's see. We have Vienna here. Vienna, let me pull you a card. Okay, Vienna. You're welcome, ladies. I'm glad the cards are resonating. I'm glad you caught me too, Jenny. Okay, Miss Vienna, let's see what you need to know in this beautiful power portal. Ooh, the map maker of destiny, authentic purpose, inspiration, and free will. This is a great card to get. I love this. He's like a scribe, and he has all these like fairies around him. You can see that. This is really about that enchanted map of your destiny. Like you're really coming to a time that this time was like written for you, right? That's kind of what I feel like he's saying. This time was written for you. It's made for you. step up into your purpose. And this has a lot to do with prosperity coming in as well. So prosperity to support you on your purpose, on your journey as an entrepreneur, as a spiritual leader. But yeah, call in all of your fairies and your angels. Call in all your counsel, because it's time. It's really time for you. Okay. Now, I don't know. I want to make sure I didn't miss anybody. Oh, yeah, I have Rachel and Tina. Okay, Rachel. I don't think Rachel's here anymore. Rachel, if you're here, let me know and I'll pull a card for you. Tina, I see you're still here. And it's 10:30. This is really fun. I kind of like doing lives at night. I haven't done it in a while. I'm used to doing it all during the day. Okay. Tina, what does Tina need to know? Ooh, the sacred union. Partnership romance. What do you think of that, Tina? Wow, I haven't seen anybody get this card in a long time, so it must definitely be meant for you. I don't know if this is what you're wishing for, but this always the sacred union of masculine and feminine begins, like we talked about earlier, with that balance of masculine and feminine within, that balance of intellect, heart, and body, right? This integration is happening with you where you're ready to be in a relationship, ready to be in different kinds of partnerships. This could be obviously business partnerships too, roommates, and love. All of it is included in this card. But I just love this couple. It's a very romantic, beautiful energy. All right, my loves. So I'm going to jump off, but thank you for being here with me. This is really nice to feel the energy and to have, I don't know, be able to share just my perspective on this portal and hear your perspectives. So much fun. So yes, you've been doing that every day. You're welcome, Vienna. You're welcome, Christina. And everyone have a beautiful evening. And yeah, let's see where this beautiful, amazing vortex of energy is going to take us starting tomorrow. It's happening. It's all happening. Okay, bye.